Black Hills TV is glad to visit you with Kyle Courtney, Rapid City Christian boys head basketball coach. And Kyle, thanks for joining us on the phone today.
Yeah, Dwight, thanks for having me.
Since it's your first time with us here at Black Hills TV, tell us about your background.
Sure. I grew up in a little town called Guthrie Center in Iowa, kind of in between Des Moines and Omaha, Nebraska, and I played basketball and baseball in high school, and had the opportunity to play at a small college in Minnesota, Pillsbury Baptist College. I played both sports there throughout my career. So yeah, grew up playing both of those sports, really loved it. Probably loved basketball a little bit more, but certainly enjoyed my time playing those sports.
Two-sport athlete, was you pretty good?
I was okay. I was fair. I was a late bloomer. Kind of grew more. And when I was young, I probably couldn't walk and chew gum at the same time. But I was all conference in high school, so I was a fair player. And in college, I started 3 years in basketball. I was probably a fair athlete. Played on some good teams, but was a role player.
Now, what brought you to Rapid City Christian High School?
Well, I started teaching and coaching in right outside Birmingham, Alabama, when I got out of college. Actually, at the college I was at, I stayed for 2 years and was an assistant there when I graduated. And then I started my teaching career down in Alabama at a Christian school. I was there 2 years. And then I took a job in California, Santa Maria, California. Got a head coaching position out there, and I was there for 3 years. And then my wife's from Minnesota. I'm from Iowa. We had two little kids at that time, and we wanted to get back closer to home. Moved out here to Rapid City.
Kyle, you had a pretty good basketball season with the Rapid City Christian Comets. Regular season ended up 11-9. You had a good start. It was 6-0.
We did, yeah. Got off to a nice start. Like you said, 6-0. Struggled after that. We were, kind of up and down this year. Ended up 12-10 overall. But, I really enjoyed this group of kids. Like you said, we did have a good year. We did win a share of our conference championship, which is something, that's good, something you can remember. But we definitely went through some of those ups and downs that sometimes happen in sports.
Who were seniors that you relied on this year?
We had 4 great seniors: Jack Roysum, Ethan Whip, Peyton Causey, and Terrence Asbridge. And I tell you, those 4 seniors have been around for quite a while, played a lot of basketball for us. Jack was a 4-year starter, and Ethan and Terrence were both 2-year starters. And then Peyton had been a backup player for us, but really came on and had a great senior year. But those seniors in particular were just such great leaders for us on and off the floor. 4 kids with a lot of character. And to me, they weren't just leaders, they were servant leaders. We talk a lot about that in our program, being a servant leader. And they were probably some of the best kids I've ever had at that. They just really involved the younger kids. They worked hard every day in practice. They led by example. We get back from late night bus trips, and they were the last ones off the bus, always cleaning everything, cleaning the locker room up. And, that's what we really look for in our seniors and our leaders, are kids like that.
Being a servant leader, is that something you were aware of and strived for back in your playing days?
I think that some of the coaches I had made a big emphasis of that. I don't know if I was as mature as a senior as some of these seniors I just mentioned were, though. I got to tell you, they just did a tremendous job. For being, 17, 18-year-old kids, I was just really impressed with their maturity. And I've coached, this is my 9th year as a varsity head coach, and I'm just so impressed with that group of seniors we had this year.
Down the stretch on the regular season, you won your last 3 games. You won Underwood, Lee Deadwood, and Hot Springs. So ended up on a pretty good note, and then after that, into the playoffs. Yeah,
like you said, we started off 6-0. I think our next 11 games after that, we were 2-9. So we hit a tough stretch. We lost some tight games. With this whole SODAC 16 format now, your seeding in your region becomes really important for playoffs. Early in the year, we were at that 2 seed, and we dropped by the end of the year to that 4 seed. And that was disappointing. We wanted to be that 2 or 3 seed, and we thought that would have been a good spot for us in our region. But losing some tight games dropped us there. But I'll say this, I was really proud of our kids. When you go through tough times in sports or in life, it's really about how you handle adversity. And again, having that strong leadership from our kids, there wasn't a lot of pointing fingers or complaining or giving up. The kids really stayed together, continued to work hard. And I thought by the end of the year, though, those last 3 games of the regular season, we were playing some of our best basketball. And so that was really encouraging.
How about next year? You got some young kids coming up?
Yeah, we're pretty excited about next year. We have a really good sophomore class We had some kids off the bench. Well, Mitch Heidecker was a sophomore this year, and he's kind of our sixth guy. Started some too, and we had some injuries. He averaged 10 rebounds a game off the bench. Set a school record with 28 rebounds in a game when we played Hardin County. Mitch and we had a couple other sophomores, Avery Whip, Carson Glassburn, that saw some good varsity minutes. And we've got about 7-8 kids in that sophomore class that we're really high on, and we think there's a lot of talent potential there. Sam Schleybaugh is coming back. He was our second leading scorer as a junior, and he's been a 2-year starter. Forrest started as a sophomore and a junior, and he averaged 12.5 points a game and 5 rebounds. So he was one of our captains. So we anticipate him being a great leader for us next year. But yeah, we think we have some potential to be pretty decent next year, a chance to be pretty good. It's just going to depend on how some of those kids develop and how much time they put into the off season.
Yeah. Kyle Courtney, Rapid City Christian boys head basketball coach. And Kyle, we appreciate you taking time to visit about the Comets here on Black Hills TV.
Yeah, thank you, Dwight. Appreciate the time.